Hi guys, this is Morton and welcome to this week's Friday Thoughts video, in which I want to talk to you about the light that we shine as a leader and or the shadow that we can cast. So earlier this week, Susie in my team shared a Forbes article into my Facebook community that cited some research that said 69% of people say that their manager has more impact on their mental health than their partner, their doctor or their therapist. It was a relatively small study, just 3,400 people, but there was some diversity in terms of geography as they had participants from 10 different countries. Now I think as you think of that figure, nearly 70%, initially that might really surprise you. But then as we let the thoughts settle and reflect on it a little bit more, I think it probably very quickly becomes much less surprising. The reason being, in our working lives, we spend more of our waking hours with our work colleagues than we do our loved ones. Whether we are working in the office physically next to them, or we're working with them via Teams calls from home. And I think that being the case, for us leaders, that poses two really interesting questions to reflect upon and then take some action based upon. So number one is, what are we doing to look after our own mental health? Because 99.9% of us have got a boss or a manager, right? So are we really taking personal responsibility for our own mental health and doing what we need to do to be at our best for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for those we've got the privilege and responsibility to lead? And that brings me nicely on to the second point to reflect on. What impact are we having on those we've got the privilege and responsibility to lead? We can either have positive ripples that spread out and touch them and their loved ones, or we can have a negative effect that not only affects their mental health whilst they're at work, but it will spill over and start to affect their friends and family as well. So something to reflect on there. What are we doing to maintain our mental health, and what impact are we having on those around us? Hope it's been useful. As always, folks, look after yourselves, have a great weekend, and until next week, lead on.